Hello and welcome back to Woodworking Monetized, where woodworking doesn't have to be another expensive hobby. This is episode 16, where I batch out 12 home plate American flags. I first saw this on the YouTube channel Max F. Go ahead and check him out. Credit where credit is due. This is episode 16. If you're new here, go ahead and check out any of the previous episodes. Episode 1, I started with just under $200 and only a few tools. Although not pictured, I actually use 4 1x12s and one 1x3, all 8 feet in length. From the first 1x12x8, I was able to get 13 8.5 by 10 inch boards that would represent the unions of each home plate flag. Then I took each board over to the table saw and trimmed it down to the actual 10-inch dimension. And as you can see, I'm left with one additional union board, allowing for any mistakes. And with the remaining 1x12 boards, I rip 1x2s for the red and white stripes. Some of these are used for the back supports as well. For each flag, there are 7 small stripes, 3 white and 4 red, at 8.5 inches. And there are 5 long stripes, 3 white and 2 red, at 17 inches. In episode 11, I batched out 6 American flags, in which I gave them a burned look. If you're feeling feisty, check out that episode. Since I really liked how they turned out, I decided to torch these ones as well, before staining them. As you'll see later in the video, I burn each stripe both before and after staining them. Before staining all the white and red stripes, I wanted to figure out how many short and long stripes I needed of each color. Since I started with red, each flag needed 4 short red stripes, or 48 in total, and 3 short white stripes, or 36 in total. Each flag needed 3 long stripes, 36 in total, and 2 red stripes, 24 in total. I had plenty of red and white Minwax stain left over from episode 11's American flags, as well as the blue stain for the Union, so I was able to save some money when batching these out. I cannot stress enough the importance of giving the red stripes a second coat of stain, as it really gives them a deep, rich red look as opposed to a more light, pinkish red. This Varathane blue stain is much more runny than the Minwax red and white, but this blue is hands down the best shade for the Union. I wouldn't say it's as important to get 2 coats of white stain on the stripes if you are going to burn the stripes both before and after. Just like my American flags on episode 11, I chose to give each stripe a slight chamfer. When assembled, I find that it gives the flag an extra bit of dimension to them. Call it eye candy. Having this chamfer between the stripes makes for a less stressful assembly, as you don't have to worry about each stripe being perfectly flush with its adjacent counterparts. If you wanted to be even more savvy and reduce your wood waste, you wouldn't have to make some of those bottom stripes as long, since you will be cutting them down diagonally anyways. However, it is certainly easier to make the appropriate pre-cut marks with complete 17-inch long stripes. I found it easier to rip this small portion of the union down flush with the top stripe after adding the stars. Prepositional tack glue worked well in holding down all parts of the star stencil when spray painting. After spraying the glue, you must wait about 60 seconds before applying to the union. This modified home plate union has 27 stars. You're going to have to use at least 2 coats of white Rust-Oleum spray paint. To be honest, I could have used a little more patience in between coats of white spray paint. What could have made this part a lot faster is having more than one star stencil. However, it would have definitely increased my overall cost. For consistency's sake, I chamfered the union too. I hadn't intended on using Titebond 3, but it was the same price as the other two. I found this way to be the best to assemble each flag. The number one issue was keeping the right side of the union flush and without gaps between it and the short stripes. To account for this, I wait to nail the top part of the union to the short stripes until the very end. That way, as you'll see, I can turn the flag over and clamp it tight. You probably can't see it, but every flag had a slight gap where I am pointing. A little clamping pressure added prior to the final nails eliminated this gap. Three quick marks, all at 8.5 inches. Like Max, I used painter's tape to help find those lines prior to cutting with a jigsaw. I chamfered the outside edge around the home plate to keep consistent. And here's where I burned one and tested it against the other and decided to burn all of them after staining. I did spray each of these with a coat of polyurethane. I'm hoping to sell each of these at $50, but I am willing to go down to $45. As always, I appreciate everyone's support.